So yesterday, this gentleman, Matt Moss, tagged me in a tweet that he was sending out, really trying desperately to get attention for what is going on in his kid's school system. You see, Matt lives in East LA, and he has his kid, who I'm not sure exactly how old they are, but I didn't get the impression that they were too old, in online school, because that's what they're doing. And of course now, parents can see exactly what kids are learning when they're having to learn it online. And so he tweeted this out. He has a video as well. You can go check out his account. But day 4, online school. Intro to anti-racist practices and education. Lessons on how to wake up, take action, and do the work. During Thursday's advisory time, we will dive deep into anti-racist practices. We will learn about our own social identities, race and racism, prejudice and history, and we will learn how to take action and become a true ally. This is what they are teaching children in schools in East LA. So Matt continues, he says, I actually spoke to the principal today. She flat out admitted to me that the school is being supported by BLM. I'd like to plan a peaceful pro-American rally in the next few months. I told the principal that I would provide counter arguments to theirs. He's being very diplomatic. He's not releasing the name of the school. He's not releasing the name of the principal. And good for him, because, they're working with him, and it might be one of those situations where they just don't know, or they've been indoctrinated into this stuff and they don't understand it and all this stuff. I don't know. I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I can be a little too naive sometimes, but I really like to assume the best in people until they show me the worst. Now, the reason I bring this up is not just Matt's story, but around the same time, another supporter of mine sent me this article from the Tennessee Star. Rutherford County Schools tell parents not to monitor their child's virtual classrooms. So we're going to read this article about schools that are demanding that parents don't actually look at what their children are being taught. We're going to read this and we're going to talk about it. But before we do that, we want to get our housekeeping out of the way. Listen, folks, I'm trying to grow the channel. I really want to hit 100,000 subs by November, by Election Day. So if you like the content I'm putting out, you're enjoying it, please consider hitting that subscribe button, turning on those notifications, giving the video a thumbs up, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's dig in and read this article. Rutherford County Schools tell parents not to monitor their child's virtual classrooms. Parents of students who attend Rutherford County schools must agree not to monitor their child's online classroom sessions. Officials at all county schools are asking parents to sign forms agreeing not to watch these virtual classes. The Tennessee Star received a copy of such a form this week. RSC strives to present these opportunities in a secure format that protect student privacy to the greatest extent possible. However, because these meetings will occur virtually, RSC is limited in its ability to fully control certain factors, such as non-student observers that may be present in the home of a child participating in virtual meetings, according to the form. RSC strongly discourages non-student observation of online meetings due to the potential of confidential information about a student being revealed. Well, okay, so I guess that is kind of a legit concern. I can see that as a legit concern, where students come in and they think they're in a privacy of their own classroom and they say something that probably they shouldn't say in public because they're students and the frontal lobe of their brain is not fully developed. They're learning how this stuff works, and maybe a parent overhears it and it creates gossip in the community. But I don't buy it. I'm not buying into that particular excuse, because if a kid is going to come in and say something in public to his class, there has always been the chance that the kids they're saying it to are going to scurry home and say, Mom, Dad, did you hear what Johnny Jones said? Like, the kid is saying it in public at a taxpayer-funded school. Come on, this is a little bit of a stretch, but let's keep going. The form asks parents for a signature and warns that violation of this agreement may result in RCS removing my child from virtual meetings. So now they're saying that if a parent maybe signs the form and then watches the class anyway because frankly their taxes are paying for the dang class, if they watch it and they find something they don't like this anti-racist training that Matt here is tweeting out about, and they complain to the school can kick their kid out of class, which doesn't seem altogether legal to me. I could be wrong. I am not a lawyer, but I have a hard time believing that you can kick a kid out of a public school classroom paid for by taxpayer money simply because their parent watches the class and sees exactly what's being taught. We are aware of the concern that has been raised about this long-distance learning letter that was sent to parents. The intent was not to prevent parents from being involved in their children's during distance learning. It was intended to protect the academic privacy of other students in the classroom who are visible during certain virtual class sessions. I mean, what would they say to a parent who said, I wanted to come in and observe a physical class? I've seen parents do that before. I mean, especially if parents are thinking about bringing their kids or enrolling their kids in that school, they might want to watch a class. They might want to watch how the teacher teaches. Are they making them sign a form saying they aren't going to reveal any information that was done in the class? I'm going to bet no. We have issued new guidance to principals that parents can assist their children during virtual group lessons with permission of the instructor. Okay. But should refrain from sharing or recording any information about other students in the classroom. Evans did not elaborate. As of Friday, 50 miles away, Murray County Mayor Andy Ogles said no to Governor Bill Lee's Big Brother-style classroom well-being program that plans to send government officials to families' homes to check on the welfare of children, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's not interesting to me. What's interesting to me in this scenario is that parents are now seeing exactly what their children are being taught in these classrooms. They're seeing it verbatim. They're seeing it right in front of their faces, and they don't like it. And so schools are responding by basically, I mean, we've seen so many teachers freaking out. We've seen so many faculty members freaking out that, oh my God, people are actually going to see what we're teaching. The Republicans are going to come after us. The conservatives are going to come after us. It's going to be anarchy. All these things, because one of the benefits of virtual classrooms is that anyone can see what you're teaching. And you have schools now saying, don't do it. Don't watch what we're teaching your kids. You have no business here, parents. I mean, come on. These schools are indoctrinating kids into this ideology. I mean, it's absolutely insane to me. And it is one of the more scary things that I've seen. I've had a lot of conversations with people in my locals community about this, about what their kids are seeing in schools and what their kids are learning in schools. And guess what? It all comes back to exactly what Matt here is posting on his Instagram, that they're teaching this anti-racist nonsense. If your kid is learning this stuff, or if your kid is being taught this stuff, please speak up and go to the school and tell them. Because obviously one of the things that Black Lives Matter is doing with that $1 billion or $500 million or however much money they got donated to them is they're going into the schools. And that should be terrifying to everyone, because this is not about a protest. This is not about a riot. This is about fundamentally undermining the values of this country. And they're doing it with these kids from a very early age. And guess what, folks? By the time your kids reach 8 years old, it is really difficult to change the ideas that have solidified in their brain at that point. So if they're getting to them young, this is something that will follow these kids for the rest of their lives, unless they make the conscious choice to undo that particular wiring in their brain, which is really hard. I'm not going to talk about that in the video, but you actually have to want to undo it. You have to make that conscious decision, and then you have to work to build new habits and build all this stuff and whatever. It's hard. It really is. So parents, I mean, I don't have kids. I'm the last person to tell people how to raise kids, but I guess I would beg you that if you care about the sanity and the mental well-being of your kids, get involved. Make sure you know what your kids are learning about in school. This is not just some little thing. Once these ideas get planted, we have seen this over and over and over again. Once these ideas make their way into people's brains, they become like pod people. It's weird. It's creepy. Don't let your kids get indoctrinated into a cult, man. Like, this is job number one as a parent, I would think, or maybe not job number one, maybe it's job like 4 or 5. Do not let your kid get indoctrinated into a cult in school. All right, that's all I've got. I'll see you guys soon.